A wife needs a husband she can brag about, she said. I replied, then bragged to someone else. Then I took off my ring and set it beside her phone. Hey friends, please subscribe to support the channel, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. The air in our place in Richmond felt thick, like the heat had been running all day just to keep the tension warm. The windows were fogged at the corners. The kitchen smelled like reheated tomato soup and the lemon dish soap Marissa liked, the one that always made me think of cleaning up after a storm. Marissa sat on the end of the couch with her phone held up high, face lit by the glow, thumb moving fast. Every few seconds she'd smirk, then sigh, then type again. It wasn't relaxing scrolling. It was strategizing, like she was getting coached in real time. I had stopped asking who she was talking to because the answer had been the same for months. Her circle. That's what she called them now. Not friends, not coworkers. My circle. A group of women from her networking events and a couple of older women from her office who treated marriage like a brand partnership. They had opinions about everything, especially what kind of man a woman should align with. I'm a procurement manager for a hospital system. My job is boring on purpose. I make sure supplies show up when they're supposed to, and I make sure vendors don't sneak extra charges into contracts. I read the fine print. I keep receipts. I'm calm because calm prevents damage. Marissa used to say she loved that about me. She works in corporate events for a marketing firm, the type of job where you can make an empty room look full with lighting and angles. She's good at it. She's polished. People remember her. That charm is part of why I fell for her. Somewhere along the line, the charm turned into a performance, and I became her backstage crew. It started small, a comment here, a comparison there. You'd look so much better in a blazer, she'd say, like she was helping. My friend's husband just got promoted again, she'd say, like it was weather. Then it got sharper. Do you ever think about doing something bigger? What's your plan to increase your income? Do you even want to be more? And always after she said something that stung, she'd glance at her phone, not to check messages, to check approval. That night she put her phone down with a decisive tap, like she was ending a call she didn't want me to hear. We need to talk, she said. I didn't groan, I didn't argue. I rinsed my bowl, set it in the dishwasher, and sat at the small dining table. Okay, I said. Marissa stayed standing. She paced once, then stopped with her arms crossed like she was delivering a scripted statement. I've been thinking a lot, she said, and I'm done pretending I'm happy with average. I held her gaze. What does average mean to you? She let out a laugh that wasn't amused. You always do that. You turn it into a debate. It's not a debate, I said. It's a question. She walked closer and leaned her hip against the edge of the counter, the way she did when she wanted to look casual while saying something heavy. My circle thinks we've outgrown this, she said, gesturing around the apartment like it was a temporary rental, not a home we'd built. This, I repeated, our marriage. She exhaled dramatically. Our situation, our lifestyle, the way we show up. Show up where? I asked. Everywhere, she snapped. At dinners, at work events, at weddings. I'm tired of being the one who carries the image. There it was, image, not love, not respect, image. I kept my voice even, and what do they suggest? Her eyes sharpened. They suggest I stop settling. I let a beat of silence pass, then said, Marissa, are you unhappy with me, or are you unhappy with the way you think other people see you? Her jaw tightened. That's not fair. It's honest, I said. She pushed off the counter and walked to the window, looking out at the parking lot like she needed a view to say the next part. My friend Kelsey said something that hit me, she said. She said a woman's husband is her billboard. He's either elevating her or he's dragging her down. I blinked slowly. A billboard. Yes, she said, like that was normal language to use about a spouse. And I'm sorry, but you're not the man I want to be seen with anymore. Her voice had that clean, rehearsed edge, like she'd practiced the line until it sounded brave instead of cruel. I didn't raise my voice. Then stop being seen with me, I said. She turned sharply, almost offended that I didn't crumble. That's it, she demanded. No fight, no apology, no promise to do better. I looked at her for a moment and felt something settle in my chest. Not heartbreak, not anger, a quiet certainty. "You're talking about me like I'm a marketing asset," I said. "I'm your husband." She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. I'm being real." "You're being coached," I replied. Her eyes flashed. "You don't get to say that." "I do," I said, "because I can see it. Every time your phone buzzes, your opinion changes." She laughed, sharp and mean. "You're paranoid." I didn't argue the word. I did something simpler. I slid my wedding ring off my finger and set it on the table beside her phone. The sound was small, metal on wood, but it cut through the room. Marissa stared at it like it wasn't real. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm listening," I said, "and I'm responding." Her voice rose. "You're going to throw away 3 years because I told you the truth." "I'm not throwing it away," I said. "I'm putting it down before you keep using it as leverage." She stepped closer, eyes wide now, panic rising behind her anger. "Ethan, stop," she said. "Don't be impulsive." I almost laughed at that, because impulsive wasn't a word anyone who knows me would use. "I'm not impulsive," I said. "I'm done." She opened her mouth, searching for the right pressure point. Then she went for the one she knew would hit my pride. "You know what?" she said. "I've been talking to someone who actually understands what I need." The room went quiet again. "Someone," I repeated. She lifted her chin. "Someone who has goals, someone who doesn't think ambition is a crime." I nodded once, and who is he? She hesitated just a second too long. "That doesn't matter," she said quickly. "What matters is I'm finally feeling valued." I didn't demand her phone. I didn't accuse her of anything I couldn't prove. I just said the next true thing. "If there's someone else, then we handle this like adults," I said. "We separate cleanly." Her eyes narrowed. "Separate? You can't just decide that." "I can decide what I participate in," I said. She stared at me, then grabbed her phone off the table like it was a rescue rope. "Fine," she said. "Go ahead, walk out. You'll regret it when you realize what you lost." I didn't reply. I went to the bedroom, opened the closet, and pulled out a duffel bag. I packed the way I do everything. Essentials first. Documents, work clothes, toiletries, my laptop, my folder with our mortgage documents and insurance policies, because I knew the next steps would involve paperwork, and paperwork disappears when people panic. Marissa hovered in the doorway, filming me with her eyes, not her phone. She was watching for weakness. "You're really leaving tonight," she said, voice trembling between rage and disbelief. "I'm sleeping somewhere else tonight," I said. "We can talk logistics tomorrow." She scoffed. "Logistics, that's all you care about." "Logistics is how you keep things from getting ugly," I said. I drove to my friend Jordan's house across town. Jordan is a physical therapist, the type of guy who listens more than he talks. He opened the door, saw the duffel bag, and didn't ask for drama. "You want the guest room?" he asked. "Yes," I said. He nodded. "You hungry?" That night, I slept like someone who had stopped arguing with a wall. In the morning, I made a list, not because I wanted to punish Marissa, because I wanted my life to stay intact. Separate accounts, change direct deposit, review mortgage, cancel joint subscriptions, update beneficiaries, document communication. No threats, no late-night texts, just steps. Marissa didn't want steps, she wanted emotion. My phone lit up with messages before I'd finished coffee. "Where are you? This is insane. My mom is asking questions. Answer me." I didn't answer right away. Silence first, mute first. That's how you avoid getting pulled into a fight that becomes evidence later. By noon, I went back to the apartment to pick up a few more things while she was at work. I told her I was coming. I texted, "I'll be there at 12:30 to get personal items. I'll be in and out." When I walked in, the place smelled like her perfume and the sweet candles she always lit when she was stressed. The couch pillows were arranged like a staged photo. The sink was empty. The apartment looked like someone had cleaned for witnesses. My jacket was hanging on the hook by the door. the one I'd worn to her office holiday party the week before. I reached into the pocket to grab my spare car key. My fingers hit paper. I pulled it out. A receipt. Thick cardstock, folded once with a logo at the top, a high-end hotel spa in the Fan District. The line item that made my stomach go still wasn't the price. It was the description. Couples renewal package, 2 guests. Date and time, Tuesday, 3:00 p.m. Tuesday at 3:00 p.m., Marissa had told me she was stuck in meetings all afternoon. I stood there in the quiet entryway holding the receipt like it was a piece of ice. No snooping, no hacking, no illegal access, just a receipt left in a pocket in my own home. I didn't call her, I didn't text her a screenshot, I didn't confront her with a performance. I slipped the receipt into my folder and continued packing. That receipt didn't make me angry, it made me certain. That night, I called our bank and removed myself as a joint user on the card we used for shared expenses. I set up a new account in my name only. I redirected my direct deposit. I moved my half of the mortgage payment into a separate account labeled House Only, so there would be no confusion about what I was paying and why. Then I called a family law attorney Jordan recommended, not to start a war, to understand the rules of the road. The attorney asked simple questions. Kids, no. Assets, yes. House, yes. Any infidelity proof? I said, I have a receipt showing a couple's spa package during a time she claimed to be working. The attorney didn't gasp, she didn't moralize, she just said, keep it, document everything, communicate in writing, we'll file for separation and set terms. That was my lane, clear steps, clear boundaries. Marissa didn't like clear boundaries. She called me that weekend from a number I didn't recognize. When I answered, her voice was sweet, soft, almost nostalgic. Hey, she said, can we please talk like adults? We can, I replied. Email me, it keeps things clear. Her sweetness snapped into anger instantly. Wow, she said, you're really doing that thing. You're really trying to paint me like the bad guy. I'm not painting, I said, I'm documenting. She laughed bitterly, you're so cold. I'm steady, I corrected. Then she did what she always did when she felt herself losing control. She brought in other people. The next day, her mother called. I let it go to voicemail. Her sister called. I let it go to voicemail. Then her cousin texted me from an unfamiliar number. Ethan, this is Lacey. Marissa is distraught. Please stop being cruel. Cruel, that word is a weapon when someone wants you to doubt your own boundaries. I replied once, I'm not discussing this over text. Our attorney will coordinate. That's when the smear started. A mutual friend from our neighborhood messaged me, cautious. Hey man, Marissa said you abandoned her and emptied the accounts. I stared at that message for a long time, not because it hurt, but because it showed how quickly a story spreads when it's convenient. I replied calmly, I didn't empty anything. I separated finances and continued paying my half of the mortgage. I'm keeping everything documented. Then I stopped replying to everyone. You can't argue with a narrative. You can only live a truth that doesn't require an audience. The lawful receipts showed up anyway, because people get uncomfortable when they realize they've been used as extras in someone else's movie. A week later, I got a message from a woman named Nina. Nina was one of Marissa's coworkers. I'd met her twice. Quiet, polite, the kind of person who looks like she hates gossip. Her message was short. I'm sorry. I didn't want to be involved, but I think you should know what's being said. Then she sent a screenshot. It wasn't stolen from Marissa's phone. It was Nina's own screenshot from a group chat Marissa had added her to, a chat named something ridiculous like Upgrade Season. The screenshot showed Marissa's words. He's predictable. If I guilt him enough, he'll keep paying the house while I figure myself out. Below that, someone replied, make him the villain, men hate that. Another message, get him to move out first, then you control the space. I sat there looking at it, feeling a calm I didn't expect. It wasn't relief, it was confirmation. I replied to Nina with 2 sentences. Thank you, please don't send more, I'm sorry you were put in that position. Then I blocked Marissa on social media. Mute to block, digital sanitation complete. That's when the better option stepped into the light, because it always does. His name was Adrian. Marissa had mentioned him once as a consultant she met through a fundraiser. He was the kind of man who wore fitted coats and talked with his hands, the kind of man who sounded like a motivational quote. Once I filed for legal separation, Marissa stopped pretending. She started posting photos with Adrian like she was proving a point. Dinner at a rooftop place downtown, a weekend trip to Charlottesville, a caption about choosing myself. I didn't see any of it. People sent it to me anyway, like they thought I needed to feel something. I didn't. What I did feel was gratitude that she was making it obvious. Paperwork moves faster when people stop lying. Karma didn't show up as a dramatic explosion. It showed up as the kind of inconvenient truth you can't filter. Adrian's consulting job, it turned out, wasn't stable. He was in a messy dispute with a former business partner. Not criminal, not a scandal I caused, just the predictable chaos that follows someone who lives on image and promises. Marissa found that out after she signed a lease. Not on a cute little apartment, a luxury unit, high rent, long-term, the kind of place you get when you want to be seen. And when Adrian's money got tight, he did what men like that do. He disappeared. Not in a movie way, in a quiet way. Fewer calls, missed payments, excuses that didn't add up. I'm waiting on a transfer. It's a paperwork glitch. It's temporary. Marissa called my number from a new line 2 months later, voice shaking with controlled panic. I need to talk, she said. No, I replied. Ethan, please, she said. This is serious. You can email, I said. I can't fix this over email, she snapped, then softened immediately. Okay, I'm sorry, I need help. Help, the word she had replaced with upgrade when she thought she had leverage. What do you need? I asked, keeping my voice flat. The mortgage company called, she said. There's an issue. And the rent, she stopped herself, realizing she was about to admit something. I didn't ask questions, I didn't pry. Talk to your attorney, I said, or my attorney, that's what they're for. Her voice rose. You're doing this on purpose. I'm doing this correctly, I replied. Then I ended the call. The lieutenant call came next, right on schedule. Marissa's brother, Sam, called me from his number. Sam had always been decent to me. He's a firefighter, direct, tired, no patience for nonsense. Man, Sam said, voice tight, what's going on? I separated from Marissa, I said. It's being handled legally. Sam exhaled. She's saying you're refusing to help, and she's about to lose the house. I'm paying what I'm required to pay, I said. I'm not funding her new life. There was a pause, then Sam's tone shifted slightly, like he was choosing his words carefully. She's with that guy, he said. Adrian. Yes, I said. Sam sighed. He's not solid. I know, I replied. She's asking Mom to ask you, Sam said, almost embarrassed. They want you to cover some stuff until she stabilizes. I kept my voice calm. No. Sam didn't argue. That's why I respected him. Okay, he said quietly. I'll tell them. I'm sorry you're caught in it, I said. Yeah, Sam replied. Me too. Months passed. The separation finalized into divorce. Not flashy. No courtroom drama. Just agreements, signatures, and a schedule for selling the house. The house sold in spring to a young couple who loved the backyard garden Marissa had never watered. I moved into a smaller place near the river trail. I started running in the mornings, not for revenge body nonsense, but because it made my mind quiet. I cooked real meals again. I slept without waking up to the sound of someone's phone buzzing like a siren. The final encounter happened on a Tuesday afternoon in late summer, in the most ordinary place possible. A grocery store near Carytown. I was grabbing coffee beans and a rotisserie chicken, the kind of purchases that scream single man who learned to feed himself. The store was cool and bright, air conditioning humming, carts squeaking. I turned down the aisle and saw Marissa. She was standing by the end cap of bottled water, holding her phone like she still needed it to tell her what to say. She looked thinner, tired around the eyes, still pretty but not polished, not performing well. She saw me and froze. Then she took a step forward like she'd practiced this moment. Lytham, she said. I nodded once, Marissa. She swallowed. You look good. I'm doing well, I said. Her eyes flicked down to my left hand, to the bare ring finger, then back up. I didn't think you'd actually go through with it, she said quietly. I did, I replied. She let out a small laugh that didn't contain humor. Adrian was a mistake. I didn't react. That confession wasn't a gift to me. It was an attempt to reopen a door. I'm sorry, I said, and I meant it in the way you're sorry someone touched a hot stove after calling you cautious. Her face tightened. I didn't cheat, she said quickly, like she needed to correct the record. I looked at her calmly. Marissa, I found a couple's spa receipt in my jacket pocket on a day you told me you were in meetings. Her eyes widened, then darted away. That was, she started. I didn't let her spiral into explanations. I didn't need them. It doesn't matter anymore, I said. We're done. She stared at me, voice getting small. Do you ever think about trying again? I shook my head once. No. Tears filled her eyes, but she held them back like she didn't want to look weak in a grocery store. Why not? She whispered. I answered with the cleanest truth I had. Because I don't trust you, I said, and trust is the whole thing. She flinched like I'd hit her, even though my voice stayed gentle. You're so calm, she said bitterly. How do you do that? I stopped negotiating with people who want to use me, I replied. I stepped around her cart without touching it, grabbed my coffee beans, and moved toward the checkout like the conversation had ended because it had. Behind me, I heard her take a shaky breath, like she wanted to call me back into the fight. I didn't turn around. If you were in my place, would you have confronted her about the receipt right away, or would you have handled it the quiet, legal way like I did? Tell me in the comments.